So, hey everybody, it's been a while. I've been working a lot, so I don't have a lot of time to make videos. Days are getting shorter and whatnot, but I wanted to talk about something that I just experienced today. So, I'm an alcoholic, for sure. Most people know that. And at this point in my day, let's see, I got like 2 beers left in there, so I'm like 16 beers deep. And I drank last night. Something most alcoholics will understand is that sometimes you go so hard the night before that it's just easier to day drink. But that's not what I'm here to talk about. What I'm talking about is diet and exercise, actually. And a lot of people don't realize how much this shit matters to me. Now, I typically count exercise out because I'm a construction worker. And, so for instance, I've been pulling 70s virgin hardwood floors out of a house for the last 2 or 3 days. It's not easy work. You probably wouldn't work that hard for 6 hours or 4 hours in a gym ever in your life. And so I've always kind of chalked it up to that. But I think in my life, that's why I prefixed it with the alcoholism is I think that a lot of construction workers are in the place I'm at, but one thing I know I've always lacked is cardio. And so for the last couple months, let me flip this camera around. I've been looking at the driveway I made. And, that's where I pull in. The car goes on the other side of the camper these days because that's all done. But then this goes all the way through. And then it wraps around all this shit you can't see. But you see that little orange spot right there? That wraps around there, and then there's the road that goes through my property. So I have a good circle here, and I'm very fortunate for that. And I think today that hit me. That like so many people that do work out either have to use a treadmill or have to do this. And I actually have uphill, downhill. Depending on which way I go is how hard it is. It's not level ground. People pay a lot of money to do things like that. And today, about, we'll just say 12 beers deep, I decided to run. And I was 100% sure that I could only make that round one time without hyperventilating, because there's hills and everything. It's not like this is flat land. But I did it twice. And it's not so much that the message of this is I'm like, it's good to be proud of yourself, but it's not even that I'm proud of myself. It's just that I'm surprised. Like, as much beer as I drink, which is probably my most unhealthy habit, I am in pretty fucking good shape. And it's not what I'm saying is start doing construction and drink beer. No, what I'm saying is like, when there's this part of you that thinks you can only do one, the truth of the matter is, up here you can probably do two. And the real truth of the matter is, if I really wanted to push myself, like back in the high school days, football style, till I threw up, even with a belly full of beer, I haven't eaten today, I could have probably done a third. Was I sprinting? No, man, it's not a race. It's just, but it's cardio. It got my heart moving, and I was very surprised. I've been smoking since I was 11 years old. I'm 33. I've been smoking for 22 years. And I was able to do that. And I guess that's more the point of this to me. It's just like, anything you think you can't do, try it. Because you might fucking surprise yourself. I also realized about 2 weeks ago that I was up to 245 to 250 pounds. I was fluctuating. But I was eating a lot of sweets and things like that, and I've cut most of the sugar out of my life except for alcohol. I still drink my beer, but I work hard, and I eat meat and vegetables and cheese and sour cream, and that's about it. Like, that's about the gist of my diet. I'm not trying to like push that on anybody. I just know that it works for me. Like, here's what I'll tell you is right now I weighed myself and I was at, not after running or any of that, this morning I was 235. And tomorrow, if I had to guess, I'll be 234, 233. But I'm also about to cheat on my diet and eat some fucking sloppy joes because I love them things and I've been working hard, and I do want to reward myself because you don't want too much cortisol in your body either. I'm not trying to come on here like a nutritionist. I've learned what I've learned and I've seen what I've seen, and really I wanted to make sure that, like, there may be some other alcoholic that sees this that works construction. So you have to work 8 hours a day in the heat and the cold and carry heavy shit and keep your mind right, whether you drink or not, is more than most people in this country do. And in the back of your head, you're going, there's no way I could run. There's no way I could do. Well, just give it a fucking shot, man. And if it doesn't work out, like if you fall and end up with a scrape on your face, then maybe your legs ain't working right. Maybe you should start something simpler. Maybe you should start with walking. And I'll tell you, when my first lap, man, my legs felt weird. I used to play soccer, and my legs, like, I was telling them what to do, and they were like half-ass listening. It was a very strange experience. But I did what I set out to do, and then I doubled it. And there's a lot to be said for how that will make you feel. Obviously, still having a beer. It's Saturday. I worked my ass off, and I went back roading for the first part of the morning, and then I went walking through creeks for the second part of the day, and I was just sitting here trying to entertain myself with social media and realized, like, fuck, man, I'd rather take off running. And I did. So, and by the way, something I've always given myself an excuse for is like, oh, you need running shoes. Well, I bought some new work shoes, but these are my old ones. This is what I ran in. And that one is, you know, there's nothing special about them. It's just as long as you don't cut your feet up on the fucking rocks, you'll be fine. And a lot of this is very subjective to me, but I did want to just kind of make a video about this. For nothing else, I'll watch this tomorrow and, you know, being as deep in the beer as I am, and go, man, why do my legs hurt? And I'll be like, oh shit, because you went running. And what I'm realizing is that it will probably make work easier on Monday. You know, if I was to do that every weekend, or, you know, 2 to 3 times a week, I would probably feel better at work. Even if I was hungover, I would feel better than I feel now. So, one thing I've learned through my life, and I'll end it on this, is one thing I've learned through my life and all the different jobs, like roofing on 10-12 pitches. I mean, very steep roofs. Is that humans are the most adaptable creatures on this earth. I mean, we adapt to everything. Doesn't matter what you put in front of a human, they will figure a way around it. And that's got a lot to do with our brains, but our brains have a lot to do with our body. And when you're sitting there and you're going, well, I can't. Well, then you can't. But when you try, you might figure out you can do twice as much as you think you can. And then you can adapt to that. We are the most adaptable creatures on this fucking planet. That's why we have done what we've done with this planet. We are animals, make no mistake. And I want to make that clear too. Like, the reason we're different, other than every other thing except dolphins, and dolphins just don't have thumbs, but I'm kind of jealous of them motherfuckers, because guess what? They don't need thumbs, because they don't have to build cities. They can just float through the water and, come get a breath of air and stay underwater. Anyways, I wish we was dolphins, but we ain't. We're us. And we're the most adaptable creatures on this earth. So use it. Do your best anyway. That's all I got for that.